guys, what's up? Guess who's back with another video? This girl right here. So I'm actually doing the absolute most right now. I'm set up. This is not my usual place. As you can see, I have a light. Like, I'm set up. Like, I'm ready for this. It is spooky season. It is Halloween. Right now, I'm filming this on All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve. So it's the 30th today. And it is 9 at night. I'm gonna try to film this and get her up by Halloween so we can have a Halloween vid. I know I've been MIA, but I have so many ideas. My creative juices are flowing. I have so many ideas and I'm so excited. Today, I'm going to be filming what I'm gonna be for Halloween. I'm gonna be Lara Croft. So I was Lara Croft last year, but I don't really have many pictures. And I was like really rushed that day, so I didn't like put the most into it. And I'm gonna do that this year. Like, I'm gonna put the most into her. I play Tomb Raider like every day. And I used to watch the old Tomb Raiders and I used to play the old Tomb Raiders, but I'm basing my Lara Croft off the newest version, like the 2013 game, but like the 2018 movie, because it is spooky season. I'm going to be telling ghost stories while I do it. Oh my god. I don't have any ghost stories personally, so I thought I would tell you guys spooky stories of Austin, Texas, because that's where I live. So this is gonna be kind of like a get ready with me, but like also experimental, but also like I'm gonna be telling stories while I'm doing it. So I'm gonna try to tell you what I'm doing, but also make it spooky. Okay, so I'm gonna start by putting on some chapstick. I'm gonna apply moisturizer first. The first story that I'm gonna tell you guys about Austin has to do with one of the most haunted locations in Austin, Texas. Known to be one of the most haunted places in Austin is the Driscoll Hotel. So in 1886, the Driscoll Hotel was built by a man named Jesse Driscoll, and he was a cattle farmer, I believe, a cattle boy type farmer, and he wanted to build one of the finest hotels south of St. Louis. That's what he said. And so he spent his fortune doing that. I'm gonna do right now my normal makeup routine, by the way, just so that I have a base for like what I want to do. If you don't know my normal makeup routine, watch that video. I'm just gonna make sure I like look somewhat decent. I'm not doing much makeup for Lara Croft because she is obviously a very natural girl, so it's mostly just the dirt and the costume, but the dirt and like trying to look like dirty, and like I've seen some crap, you know, seen some crap on the island. So the Driscoll Hotel is actually the oldest hotel in Austin. It's downtown. I actually have not been there. It's 4 stories, but apparently when you first enter the hotel, it's very grand looking, and it doesn't look haunted when you first come in, but apparently people have reported seeing Jesse Driscoll himself at the hotel. So in 1887, a year after the hotel was built, a senator's daughter was playing with a ball on the stairs, and she was chasing after the ball and slipped and fell and died. Reports of this little girl go back to a week after she died. People say they see her spirit or sometimes hear her. Now, the creepiest story about this hotel is that 2 brides committed suicide in the same bathtub, exactly 20 years apart from each other. 2 women who were both brides committed suicide in the same room, in the same bathtub, 20 years apart to the day. That's creepy. And there's a big portrait of Driscoll that apparently if you look into his eyes long enough, you'll actually start to cry. Like, it freaks people out. So I would not recommend that. So apparently with the little girl, sometimes you can hear the sound of a bouncy ball and giggles by the staircase. So about the suicide brides, that's what they call them. A lot of people don't know if it was the same bathtub, if it was the same room, but that is speculation. A lot of people say it's room 525, and both brides were on their honeymoon and killed themselves in the same bathtub 20 years apart to the day. There's many different versions of this. Apparently, there is an elementary school here in Austin called Metz Elementary, which is known to actually be haunted by several violent and malevolent spirits. In 1990, the elementary school was demolished, and during the demolition, a lot of the workers said that they heard giggling, like children's giggling, and sometimes writing or scribbles would be drawn on the chalkboards, and sometimes the equipment, like the bulldozers, like the big equipment, would randomly stop out of nowhere, which, you know, is a sign of like spirit activity. They are known to mess with like electronics and stuff like that, and sometimes watches would just stop ticking and stop working altogether. And apparently an exorcism was actually performed on the place or on the area, and after the exorcism was placed, a worker actually died because a well fell on him after the exorcism. And now a new school stands in its place, which is probably like a really freaking bad idea in my book. Like, I don't know if I would do that, but they did it, and I'm not gonna send my kids there if I'm still living here when I have kids. Okay, the next one I did not know until today when I read it, and I'm crying because I didn't know this, but apparently pretty much all of Texas, not just Austin, is known for the hauntings of witches called La Lechuza, I think that's how you say it, who sold their soul to Satan for immense power, and now they like transform at night into creatures, like bird-like creatures, and stalk people who have the courage to walk around at night. And they mimic voices like a harmless baby crying, or like things that will make a hero go and try to rescue like a wailing woman or something. And that's terrifying. Like, if you ask me, that's terrifying. I did not know that. The next place of discussion is called the Paramount Theater. And the Paramount Theater is located in Austin. Should I put highlight on, even though, I mean, she's sweaty. Tomb Raider's sweaty. You know, she's like checking out tombs. So, back to the spooky story. The Paramount Theater, after hours, is known to sometimes randomly smell like cigarettes or like somebody's smoking cigars when nobody is there, and it's only in one spot in the box office, and an apparition is known to be seen there, an elderly man sitting in the box puffing at his cigar. And some people have reported seeing a woman disappear before their eyes into thin air through a wall, who wears white and walks in the lobby. So that's freaking creepy. Now the next story is of a house that is located in Austin, and I heard of this from people here, like locals, because it's not really known. I mean, maybe if you Google it, it'll pop up, but like when I Googled Littlefield House, it didn't pop up. And this house is located on UT campus, University of Texas campus. I wonder how spooky this is, like with me applying mascara. That's funny. Anyways, it's located on campus, and if you Google Littlefield House haunted, you'll find it. But if you like just search Littlefield House, it doesn't have really anything about it, at least when I Googled it. Now it's known as one of the most haunted spots in like academia. That's what it says, but it's like academy, like known as like a school because it's on UT campus, like I said. But it was built in 1893 for a Civil War veteran named George Littlefield and his wife Alice. And now that house belongs to UT. When the wife died, she requested that it belonged to the UT because her husband was a very, very, very successful man who gave money to the school and helped fund a lot of things. But the house is apparently very haunted. There have been reported ghost sightings and a lot of strange noises, but the most common and recurring ghost is actually the wife, Alice Littlefield. Apparently she haunts the place. Very late at night, workers have reported hearing the piano being played even though there's nobody there, and Alice Littlefield used to play the piano. So now that I finished my initial makeup, I'm gonna start dirtying me up, but I'm going to take maybe this brush, my big blending fluffy brush, and I'm gonna just go in with different shades of brown and purple to kind of look like bruising. I'm looking at a reference picture. She has 4 cuts like right here that I'm gonna try to recreate to my best ability without any scar. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about. I watch a lot of glam and gore and I can't even remember what it's called. So Lara Croft is kind of dirty everywhere, so I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna take my bronzer. I'm gonna take my bronzer brush and just kind of like try to bronze everywhere to like get the effect that I'm like dirty everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I've actually been to the Texas Capitol. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really cool. But I did walk one of the hallways by myself, and it was during the day, so like I wasn't like thinking that it was like particularly scary. There were like quite a few people around me, but I like felt really strange in there. Obviously I was like, oh my god, history, which I'm like actually a big like history geek type of person, so I was really excited to go there. But I also felt just so strange in like one of the hallways especially. I left very abruptly, and I just read that apparently it's haunted by a couple politicians. The ghost of Governor Edmund Jackson Davis is sometimes seen sitting on the first floor, and like you can see him through the window. I'm like sweating. This light is hot. You don't even know. So her shirt is really dirty too, but I don't really want to like, ooh. It looks like I just created a shadow for my boob, but I swear she has dirt there. Ooh, spooky. This is like the most dirty spot for her, so I'm gonna try to like make it quite prominently dirty. Her forearms are really dirty. She's like crawling everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like she crawling. Kind of living for her. I'm outlining scars right now that she has near her boobs. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to do it. So apparently St. Edward's University is also really, really haunted. There's 3 main paranormal places in St. Edward's. So the first place is the Merry Mood Theater, and it's really tragic, really sad, but a student hung himself in the theater with the ropes backstage, you know, like the sandbag ropes, and now people have reported to have either seen like the full body apparition, which I would be horribly terrified and scarred. Like imagine seeing an apparition just like swaying side to side. Like that's terrifying. Sometimes the sound of like creaking rope, almost like someone's being hung or like trying to hang themselves, can be heard. The second ghostly thing that is said to occur there is the ghost of a nun in Doyle Hall, and that's like all I read up about it. It's just basically like a nun that haunts the area, I guess. When you watch a lot of glam and gore and you just want to be good at FX makeup out of nowhere. LMAO. Spooky season think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try mix some lipstick, the red lipstick, with some of this dark brown and see if I can get some kind of concoction of like a dirty wound. I need like a dark red and I just don't have that. Ooh, she's actually looking quite good. I want that like right in the center. And the third incident is horrible as well. Like, why wouldn't it be horrible? They're all horrible. Sadly, in the Fremont Hall, a advisor, like a resident advisor, was using the showers and he slipped and fell and died, and it was discovered an entire week later as a decaying body, I would presume. You know, like a week later, I would assume that that body is like decayed, and that's so sad. I just can't even think about it. But he apparently haunts the Fremont halls, and you can often hear the sound of like doors slamming or like the faucet running. I thought I would continue this spooky season with some stories of my own. I haven't encountered anything and I don't wish to, but recently I had the worst nightmare that I've had in a really long time, and I don't really want to talk about it. It was just very strange and very like paranormal activity moment, you know? And I woke up in like a horrible state of panic and anxiety. Like even talking about it like makes me very uncomfortable, and I just felt like something was like watching me. I felt so like unsafe and unsettled, and I tried going back to sleep, but I just didn't feel safe. It made me very uncomfortable. I was cutting cantaloupe one day and I cut a piece of my finger off. Literally a piece off. Like, I saw the piece. But because of that, I have gauze. These scissors freaking suck. Be very careful when using scissors, kids. Or knives, because I literally cut a piece of my finger off. Every time I think about it, I cry a little bit because it's just... Can you imagine cutting a piece of your finger off? I don't have to imagine because I did it. Let's go on to the next ghost story, shall we? I just realized this is on the wrong arm. I love that for me. So while I do my hair, I'm going to tell you my last story. And my hair was just in a braid and I plan on having it in a braid, but I want to kind of make the braid a teeny bit tighter and then have the front pieces out. I know that in the most recent Lara Croft, she doesn't have braids, but I really like the look of the braid on Lara, so that's like what I'm gonna do. Sorry, not sorry. My hair's a wreck right now. Oh, no. So the last place and haunting that I'm gonna be talking about is the Shoal Creek Indian Massacre Site. Now apparently this guy named Gideon White thought it'd be a great grand old idea to have a house in close proximity to Shoal Creek. So Shoal Creek was a place that Native Americans resided and lived. So he built his house in 1838, but unfortunately in 1842 he was killed by the hands of Native Americans, and this was also the site of numerous Indian massacres where the victims were actually buried. Furthermore, during the Civil War, this Shoal Creek was occupied by General Custer and his infantry. A disease swept through the entire camp, killing about 15 or 16 of the troopers, and they were all buried in unmarked graves along Shoal Creek. I'm literally sweating. But apparently when you go there, it's obviously not unusual to feel like cold spots, to see or hear apparitions. And so a lot of paranormal things happen there, to the point that the activity is so bad that after 10 p.m. people are not allowed to go visit, because of the amount of activity that is present in the area, which is insane to me. Like, they won't even let people go. Like, what happens there that makes people like freak out so much? Why is there so much activity? We don't know. That's crazy. So I'm gonna go get changed and I'll be back to show you the final look. Oh, it's spooky season. Spooky season. I can just hear my friends making fun of me as I'm doing this right now. So this is the finished look. I am actually really happy with how it turned out. It's so much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intricate. It's so much more intricate and put together than I did last year, because I had more time and I really looked at the photos, and I'm living for it. I love her, and I just, I'm so excited to have my Halloween weekend and just be Lara Croft and feel great as Lara Croft. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had a fun time making it, and all my creative juices are flowing. I have so many ideas. Comment down below what you guys are for Halloween or what you were for Halloween. I love to hear what people are and like see all their things. So if you want to at me, if you want to send them to me, you can send them to me on my Instagram, which will be down below. Plug, at bella.c.phillips. I do have Twitter, but like I don't use her that much. But if you want to like look at all my retweets, you can. It's Bella C. Phillips. Tell me what your favorite ghost story was. Hopefully I'm okay at telling them. I tried my best, but you know, I'm not a pro storyteller. Tell me some ghost stories that are your favorite. Comment, like, subscribe, you know the drill. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!